Hi, welcome. On this video, again, following the theme as to what is force in dog training, I want to talk about this term that's used often by those who identify as balance trainers, the word suppressing the drive of a dog. And what does that actually mean in terms of dogs as social animals? Again, considering the relationship, side of things in terms of certain responses, how a dog reacts, to influence by way of how you're interacting with a dog that's already gained a level of control in the relationship. And here's the thing to consider. Again, line this all up with the parenting example. We talk about suppressing certain reactions, that happen by way of how you're interacting with dogs. But here's the context part. Here's the piece that you need to consider, the depth of it. You have to consider the relationship part of this, the current state of the relationship in terms of, of certain reactions. And no different than, again, I talk about the parenting example, once a child has already become selfish, changes everything. It changes everything within the parameters of certain interactions with the parent. Just like a parent, things that, again, putting, parental influence or demand on the child to do certain things. Well, guess what? Once they've already hit that point of being very selfish, they're not going to be very agreeable. They're not going to be so accommodating. You're going to be in conflict. Just from using, say, the word no. Based again on the fact that their perceptions have changed. You're kind of like, perceived a certain way now. And so, this goes into, again, all these different themes too I talk about in terms of, bribery, accommodation, and negotiation. Even the context of agreeableness. Certain concepts such as counter conditioning. It's all the same stuff. You take this and transfer this over, dogs as social animals, you'll start to get a sense, as to, hold on here a second. I start to understand, how it is that this picture that's being painted by many in the dog training world can be disconnected, can be an absolute counterfeit, and how these certain moments themselves are being elevated up in terms of trying to sell those moments. It's kind of like a very narrow window into certain interactions as representative that the relationship's getting better, and it's really not. So again, it's all about understanding beyond the appearance of things, but also you talk about certain words that are used such as suppressing. And this is where that whole confusion comes from. This is why a lot of trainers out there who would be defined as like drive-based dog trainers wait till a certain point in the relationship because they're fearful of suppressing the drive of a dog. Not understanding, just like being a parent, your role in that in terms of relationship, the totality of the relationship. So beyond just identifying a specific process to kind of reverse course, which is needed, in many cases. Once, again, a ongoing relationship is already underway, once the dog's already gained a higher level of control, then that process or influence has to be more intentional. Understand that the interactions have to be defined in a very specific way. So no different than, again, parenting example. Once a child's become selfish, and guess what? It requires certain things. Changing your parenting style. I have to engage the problem a certain way. You have to be in the airspace a certain way with the child. You have to be dialed in. You need to interact with. This is the thing. Versus, think about the problems here. Jumping in, superficially motivating responses, no critical thinking, no depth, no consideration as to the role of influence. And then guess what? You got a counterfeit picture on your hands. And now it's like, what happened? Who's at fault? Must be the dog's fault. All those different things start to take place. So again, my encouragement to people is really think about the depth here. Understand, dogs are amazing animals. I appreciate dogs for the amazing animals that they really are. Versus, just bringing the focus onto setting in motion that type of a picture by way of just superficially motivating dogs that way without considering the role of influence. So again, a lot of critical thinking went into the system of training. I asked these questions a long time ago, and the whole premise here is even if one dog takes the hit because of something that we're doing wrong as a human. If we really care about dogs, that's one dog too many. And so this whole thing about blame shifting and unresolved behavioral issues and the position that puts dog owners in, see, that's all part of it. So my encouragement is to check out the information I put out. It's very specific in terms of a process, the role of influence. You hear these words being thrown around: compulsion, force, suppressing the drive dog. Understand it's all related to the confusion that's out there by way of those who identify as balanced trainers. So again, check out the information I put out. It's very helpful. Thanks for watching.